For years, the fight between Ripple and the SEC has been one of the most talked about stories in the world of cryptocurrencies. Today, a huge new twist has come to light. The SEC says that Ripple Labs' XRP token should be considered a security, which would mean tighter rules. Ripple Labs has been fighting this claim. This court case has had huge effects on more than just Ripple and its investors, but also for the whole cryptocurrency market. But just when it looked like the case would never end, the SEC proposed a settlement with Ripple. This could be the big breakthrough that the crypto community has been waiting for. But that's not all. Their CEO just leaked a shocking number, $2,354. Does this mean something? Why is this number important? What does it mean for Ripple XRP in the future of crypto? This proposed settlement could make a huge difference. If Ripple agrees to it, it will avoid a long and expensive court fight and might even save its reputation. But there could be conditions that make it not as easy as it sounds. What's in it for Ripple? How will this affect the price of XRP, which has been unstable during the legal proceedings? Will a settlement boost confidence in Ripple's future, or could it bring new problems that no one saw? On top of that, the lead from Ripple's CEO adds another layer of intrigue. $2,354 may seem like a lot of money at first, but this leak could be very bad. Could this amount be a sign of a bigger financial problem or a big choice in Ripple's strategy? It's definitely not something to ignore, and it's making investors and the public very curious. In this video, we'll explain everything you need to know about the SEC settlement proposal, what the CEO's leak means, and what the whole thing means, what it could mean for XRP's future. Stay tuned as we go into more detail about this breaking news to fully understand what the SEC's deal offer means. For those who don't know, it's important to first take a step back and look at the history of this court case. Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission started their fight back, and XRP was sold by Ripple, which the SEC considered to be an unregistered asset, and the SEC sued the company in December 2020. When Ripple offered XRP as an investment without following the right rules, the SEC made it clear that they were breaking U.S. securities laws. On the other hand, Ripple has always said that XRP is not a bond instead of a traditional currency like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are not subject to the same rules. Over the years, this case has caused a lot of discussion, not just about Ripple's future, but also about the future of cryptocurrencies in general. If the SEC wins, it could set a precedent that affects many other digital assets. If Ripple wins, it could make it possible for other blockchain projects to have more freedom and less government meddling. There have been times of tension and uncertainty throughout the case. Ripple has fought back against the SEC's claims, and both sides have made their cases in court. At the same time, the crypto market has been on edge, wondering how the end of the case would affect the value of XRP. Many people in the cryptocurrency community thought the case could go on for years with no clear end in sight. That's why the news of the SEC's proposed settlement comes as such a surprise. After months of back and forth court cases, the idea of a settlement could mean that both sides are ready to move on and avoid going to trial. But it's important to keep in mind that this is still a case. There are still a lot of details to work out before the settlement is finalized, and it's not clear what Ripple would have to agree to in order to settle. For example, would Ripple have to pay a fine or admit that it did something wrong? These are the questions that Ripple, the SEC, and the crypto community will need to answer before the settlement is finalized. The SEC's plan might look like it seems like a good way to end the case, but it could have long-lasting effects on Ripple and XRP. Now that we know the SEC has suggested a settlement, let's look at what this means for Ripple and what it could mean for XRP. In this case, a settlement would allow both sides to move on with their lives. Ripple and the SEC to avoid a full trial, which would take a long time and cost a lot of money. This may sound like good news for Ripple, but it's important to know that a settlement can come with conditions. For example, the SEC may want Ripple to admit certain things or agree to certain terms in order to quickly end the case. One of the most important things to think about is whether Ripple would be fines or fees as part of the settlement. If Ripple has to agree to a financial settlement, it could have a big effect on its finances and plans for the future. Ripple's reputation could also be hurt if the company has to admit it did something wrong, even if it's just as part of a settlement to end the legal fight. On the other hand, settling could let XRP investors might see a settlement as a good sign because it would allow Ripple to move forward without the worry of a trial that could last for years. A resolution would also get rid of the cloud of legal uncertainty that has been hanging over XRP for years. Right now, the price of XRP is heavily affected by the outcome of this case within investors who are closely following every twist and turn. If Ripple were to settle, it could make things more stable for XRP, which could boost confidence in the token and possibly drive up its price. This would be good news for Ripple supporters and XRP holders who have been hoping for clarity and stability. But there could also be bad things about a settlement, depending on the terms Ripple might have to change how it does business or follow new rules that might make it harder for it to do business freely in the future. If the settlement includes provisions that limit Ripple's activities or require strict compliance measures, it might make things worse for the company in the long run. The question is whether Ripple is willing to accept these terms in return for ending the court case, or would they risk going to court again now? Even though the possible settlement between Ripple and the SEC is a big deal, the story takes a big turn again. The $2,354 league by Ripple's CEO. This amount may not seem important at first, but the time and situation may make it more important than it seems. A lot of people are confused about why Ripple's CEO would reveal such a specific amount and what it means for the company going forward. The $2,354 number could be connected to a number of things, but one of the most likely is that it refers to a personal or business transaction that is connected to the case. There is talk that this leak could be part of a bigger plan to either change how people see the case or let investors know what's really going on behind the scenes. While some people think it was just an accident, others think it's part of a plan to change the story about the Ripple case. Is that this leaked number could have something to do with Ripple's finances, like a fine or a payment made as part of a settlement or negotiation. If Ripple's CEO is leaking such a specific amount, it could be a hint at an internal decision-making process or a financial detail related to the ongoing legal case. The size of the number makes it seem like it's not just a random number. If you see this number, it could mean a specific payment or a big step forward in Ripple's fight with the CC. Another view to think about